Hey guys, what's going on? I wanted to come to you today. Happy New Year to everyone. I pray that everyone has awakened this morning in good spirits, thanking God for another year, right? We've all gone through trials and tribulations in 2023, and we've been through things that we didn't think that we were going to be able to get across, and seas that we didn't think we would be able to get across. And God has parted the sea, and He has made a way for us to do so. So I'm just praying that as you are embracing 2024, that you are doing so in remembrance of the things that God has already done, right? So if you look forward to what 2024 has for you, it's predicated on all of the things that God has done for you in 2023, the promises He has made to you. And many of those promises may not have been fulfilled in 2023, and that's okay because God is not done. He's not done in fulfilling His purpose in you. He's not done in what He has in store for you. So I just wanted to really come here and I wanted to talk. I wanted to have girl talk, if that's okay. I think that when people, I have so many people who, talk to me. You guys email me, and some of you text me, and we talk, and I see your messages, and I love the fact that so many of you look up to me. So many of you say that I give you hope for like family and marriage. And I'm so grateful for you all, right? But I want you to also know, to whom much is given, much is then required, right? I want you to know that I go through it too. It's just that I've learned strategies to help me get through it, right? To get through my seasons of desperation, my seasons of like just sorrow. And when I'm grieving different things, I'm grieving places that I used to be. And now this is a new season and God is doing something completely different. So I go through those processes and those moments as well, but I'm here to show up and to encourage you all that in 2024 that we are still trusting God, that we are still trusting that God has a purpose for our life. And the purpose that He has is to prosper us and not to harm us. In Jeremiah 29:11, that's what it says, that God has a plan. Right? We're just not here meandrously, just walking about. We're just here by coincidence. No, we're here on purpose. God has orchestrated us. It is His divine timing that we are here, that we are still alive, that we are still moving. So I want you to stay encouraged this year. That's it. I want you to stay encouraged. I want you to hold on to God's promises despite what your season may look like. Okay? Like, in total transparency, I woke up this morning in great spirits, and then something just shifted. I woke up in great spirits, praising God and thanking God for all that He's doing and all that He's already done, and what I'm believing Him for. And then something shifted, and I'm just really like, just I'm emotional right now, and that's okay, right? Because in this time, and showing up and being real with y'all, I want to let you guys know that I don't walk by my feelings. Neither do you. You don't walk by your feelings. Your feelings are fickle. Okay, your feelings are like weathering with the wind. Okay, one minute they're going right, one minute they're going left. Okay, but you walk by faith. Okay, and your faith is rooted in God. Your faith, your trust is rooted in the creator of the universe. I want that to penetrate on the inside. I want that to truly set in and sink in. I want you to know that God has a beautiful purpose for you. And though you go through storms and you may go through seasons, the battle is not yours, it's the Lord's. God has a purpose and a plan. There are times that I want to give up. There are times that I just get tired. There are times that when you're standing in God's promise and you're just waiting and you're in that waiting field and you're just waiting, it seems like sometimes the wait time just continues to be extended and extended. And sometimes it just feels like it's a bit much. And sometimes you feel like giving up. Have you ever been there? I've been there. I've been there a couple times. And I know that even in this season, although it's a new year, I know that I'm in a season right now where I feel like it's too much. Right? Sometimes the kids don't act right. Sometimes the marriage don't go exactly how you thought it should go, step by step. But you have to remember that it's just a test, that God will come to test your faith. You have to know that, and you have to trust and believe that. And though things may come and you may feel like you can't take it, I want you to know that God's strength is made sufficient in your time of weakness. So when you feel like just like giving up and throwing in a towel, you know what keeps me from throwing in the towel when I feel like giving up? Is remembering that my strength is anchored in the Lord. That it's okay for me to be weak. It's okay for me to not be strong in every season. There were so many times where I realized that I was operating in my own strength. Even during this season, like I've done a lot. Like Antwan and I didn't break down every aspect of our marriage, but there's some seasons that we didn't talk about just yet on this channel. And there's some things we had to endure. And there's some things that personally I had to endure. And it was just trying times, it was some things that it was just wow. But I realized that now when I look back, I realized that Sam, you wasn't operating in your own strength. So don't do so now. Sometimes I find myself tired, not just physically tired. Like, you ever get to the place where you're emotionally, you're spiritually just drained. It seemed like you can pray, and it's just like, okay, Lord, at this point I'm praying and I'm doing what I need to do, but it just seemed like the prayer ain't doing nothing. I've been there. Like, I feel like sometimes we paint a picture, and it's, to me, I feel like it's too late. Like, we need to stop painting the facade. You know what I mean? Not that I paint the facade. I try my best to show up authentic, or don't show up at all. What's the point if we're going to show up inauthentic, right? But many people, it's almost like marriage is perfect. No, marriage is not perfect. If marriage was so perfect, then the divorce rate wouldn't be what it is today. Do you understand me? Marriage is not perfect. You have two individuals who come from two different backgrounds, two totally different walks of life, who God mints together and they become one, right? So his baggage, her baggage, and they become one. They become one in the flesh and in the image of God. And then they come and they have a slew of children. The enemy is going to try to attack. The enemy is going to use all of his power. But you have to be confident in knowing that you have the power and the authority over all of the tactics that the enemy tried to throw at you. You have the power of the Holy Spirit. And I say this to you, and I say it to myself in my time of weakness. I remind myself, like David did. I remind myself, like, Spirit, why are you hiding in me? Wake up. I need you to make yourself known in this place. Sometimes I just go to God and I say, God, I'm tired. God, I need your strength. I'm asking you to operate through me, God. God, I need your provision. I need the courage to show up today. Not just for y'all, but to show up for my family. God, I need the courage to show up as a wife today. Though I'm tired, though I am frustrated, though I am emotionally drained, and I feel as though I am emotionally unavailable to everyone, my children, my husband. God, I'm asking you to show up. Make yourself known in me. And he does it. And he does it. And I feel the need to encourage you. I don't know. I felt it in my spirit. It's New Year's Day. It's a new year. And I literally have some hair to do, some hair to braid. I have a couple of heads to braid. We have a big photo shoot tomorrow, and I'm here. But I felt led to share this video with you guys, to share this information with you. Wherever you may find yourself, stay encouraged. The enemy is going to try you. He's trying you now. Stay encouraged. and know that if God is for you, then who can be against you? That God didn't bring you this far just to bring you this far. I remind myself of that. Like when I think of the things and I look ahead sometimes. I was trying my best not to get emotional during this video, but I'm very emotional today. I'm sorry. I'm trying to hold it together. It gets heavy. And I guess that's why God needed me to show up. To show up and let you know that you're not the only one. Life gets heavy sometimes. And that's okay. Because joy comes in the morning. God has a way of shifting things that fast. So as I'm just going through, things will be okay. I want to remind you guys that wherever you may be, whatever season or storm you may be facing before you, this too shall pass. It's okay. You don't walk by your feelings, you walk by your faith. It's going to be okay. God has a purpose and a plan. He will never leave you nor forsaken you. You don't have to feel good right now for it to be good for you. Everything that's good for you don't feel good for you. Right? It don't feel good to you. That's okay. As I'm saying this to y'all, I'm reminding myself of medicine, right? My little kids do not like liquid medicine. They won't take it. It's just so disgusting to them. They will refuse. And I'm like, you want to get better, don't you? But they rather not take the medicine because they know that it's nasty and they don't want it. But it's good for them. So sometimes it's just like how we go through things. And we say, God, I don't like the feeling of this. And he says, that's okay. But it's going to be good for you. You may not like how it feels. You may not like how this season tastes for you. It might not taste so pleasing, right? You may not be living your best season right now, but that's okay. He has a way of working all things out for our good. He has a thing of working all things out, not just some things, not just the good things, not just the semi good things. He has a way of working all things out for our good. And so when you find yourself in a space like I'm in right now, encourage yourself. Encourage yourself in the Lord. Right? Like sometimes I feel like, God, I want to talk to somebody. And I can hear the Holy Spirit say, you can talk right to me. What's on your mind? And sometimes we feel like we have to call somebody on the phone. We need a friend, we need a spouse, we need a mother or a father to talk to. And we can go to the Father, our Father, who continues to give us strength each and every day. We can go to Him. We can lay down our burdens when it feels too heavy for us. God gives us the confidence and the reassurance that we can lay aside all of those things that continue to trip us up. We can lay aside. We can lay that aside. We can come to Him. He said, come to me all who are weak and burden, like and heavy burden, right? He said, come to me. Come to me. So don't feel like you have to stay in this state alone. Don't feel like you have to stay in this emotional state alone. Go to God. Have it out. I have my moments with God and I just weep. I don't share with my husband. Some things is not for him to know. I might have something against him at the time. I ask God to cover me and I continue to pray. Pray that whatever it is, it will shift. You understand what I mean? And just continue to remember that we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. So that's one of the things that truly helped me to maintain the peace in my marriage. Because it'd be times that you want to get a little rowdy, but you have to remember that, wait a minute, I'm upset, but I'm not upset with the person. I know it's a spirit thing going on. And if the enemy can use you and your spouse to be against each other instead of with each other, okay, on the same page, then he's doing his job. He's causing conflict and just chaos. If you and your spouse is at odds, then the kids is at odds. They can feel the tension in the house. I know mine can. So it helps me to remember, like, listen, we don't fight against flesh and blood. It's a spirit thing. This is the spiritual warfare going on. So I encourage you and I urgently remind you, wherever you may be, whatever season, whatever storm you may be facing, go to God in prayer. Get on your knees. Go to God in prayer and in confidence and knowing that God has the ability to shift things that quick. That quick. Okay? I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. I love you. I share these videos with you all to let you know that you're not alone. There have been seasons where I thought I was alone. There have been seasons where I couldn't talk to someone who had the same amount of kids as me. I couldn't talk to someone who's gone through some of the things that I've gone through. Everyone else that I talked to was never in my situation, never even remotely close to my situation, and it was so awkward. I felt like I was the only person in the world going through what I was going through. And you know what God did? God saved me from that. He healed me from a lot of those traumas and those traumatic experiences that I had. And you know what else he did? He gave me the courage to show up for the rest of y'all who may be out there, who may be going through what I've gone through, who may be facing the seasons that I've faced, right? I'm coming to you as an image that, like, listen, nothing and no one is perfect. We all go through, but God keeps all of his promises. Okay? So again, I love y'all. I pray the blessing of God will be upon you guys. I pray that you will find Jesus wherever you may be. Find him where you are, because I promise you, he is closer than you can ever imagine. And he will able to do exceedingly more for you. More than you can ever ask him, or more than you can ever even imagine him to do for you. So I pray that in this season, in 2024, as you look about, I pray that you know that God is before you. And if God is before you, who can be against you? No one. No one can be against you. There's no threat that will ever take over what God can do for you. Okay? Give it to God in 2024. Trust God in 2024 with your whole heart. I know sometimes we say, okay, God, we're going to trust you. I trust you, God. I trust you. And you be like secretly like holding back a little bit, got your fingers crossed or something. You holding back just a little bit. No. not in 2024. I want you to give it all to God. Everything. I'm going to do that too. So we're going to do this together. Give it all to God and trust how God will truly blow our mind this year. How would God use us for his purpose this year? Okay? I want you to be waiting in expectancy for what 2024 is going to bring. Okay, I might do another video. I was going to do it on here, but I think that this is going to be a little long. But I feel the urge to do a prayer board. I do one every year. I usually do it like every quarter, to be honest with you guys. And I kind of do like put my prayers down on a board, right? It can be like a cork board or something like that. And I literally just write down my prayers. I mean, some of my prayers that I'm really expecting and waiting God to fulfill and waiting for him to answer, right? And every day you stay intentional and praying for those things, right? And I know that you can say, well, why do I need a board if I can just remember what I'm praying for? It's different when you see it, right? Because when you see it, then you become more intentional in praying for it. So now you're seeing it, now you're praying for it, right? Every day. And if you really want to get good, you can even go on a fast and you can do it 2 or 3 times a day and pray for these things, right? And maybe sacrifice something. You know, many people go on a fast and you can give up a food or you can incorporate a food in your diet. But you can do it in such a way where you are really trusting God to do it for you, to fulfill that prayer, to fulfill that for you. Right? So I was going to do the board with you guys. I might even open up and do a virtual prayer board party, like pajama party, where we can all get on like a Zoom and we can do a prayer board party. Would you guys be interested in that? It was been put on my heart, and I have to be honest, I was a little hesitant because I'm like, all right, God, I don't know. I used to do my Zooms maybe over a year ago. I haven't gotten back in my group space and my group setting where I got together with the young ladies I used to mentor. So I don't know, but I'm curious. I might do it if I get a lot of you to say, yeah, I will join that. Maybe we're going to have a prayer board pajama party. I would love to do that. I would love to do one like physically and then virtually. But of course, if it's physically, it will be here in Jacksonville. And virtually, it'll be right through a Zoom. So I'm really, God put it on my heart to do that literally a couple weeks ago. And I was a little hesitant to even share that. So if you guys are interested in doing something like that or just learning more about that, I need you guys to let me know in the comments, okay? Really do that so that I can be obedient and I can put together this virtual prayer board pajama party, and I can try to put together this prayer board physical party that will be here in Jacksonville. I don't think it would be a pajama party because I'm not the one for going outside in pajamas, you know. But it might just be a gathering where we can get together here in Jacksonville at a local place and just do our prayer boards. You know, if we do it physically, I will provide all of the equipment and all of the supplies, rather, our boards, sticky notes. You would need index cards, tape, glue, you know, things of that nature, where pens and colorful markers and stuff like that, where we can get really creative. We will really set an atmosphere of like prayer and worship. It would just be for a couple of hours where we're just opening up, and it would be like a sister time. Okay, I really believe I'm just giving you more specifics, but this is how I saw the vision. It would be like a sister group where we get together for just a couple of hours on a Saturday or Sunday, and we put together our prayer board where we kind of pray together, cry together, worship a little bit together, and put these prayers down and believe God for it in 2024. Okay. And if you guys are interested, I really need you guys to let me know in the comments. All right, you guys, I love you. And of course, if you can't make it to Jacksonville, we'll do it virtually where we can get together on a Zoom call and it'll be the same thing, but we'll be in our pajamas. You know what I mean? It will be like a nice atmosphere where we're then again, praying, worshiping, having that girl talk, talking, and really trusting and believing God for the very things that He promised us in 2024. Okay, I love you guys. I won't make this video longer than it needs to be, but I pray that you stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. If you listen to nothing else or you got nothing else from this video, I pray that you would stay encouraged in 2024. Let nothing steal your joy. Okay? The joy of the Lord is your promise. That's your inheritance. The joy of the Lord. I promise you, God will give you more than you feel like you have lost. Okay? I love y'all. Stay blessed and let me know in the comments. Answer those questions. Okay? Bye, y'all.